mask in Yariv. But not all faces are strangers, are they? There is no way back for you. The road behind you was swallowed long ago. Except one. But beware, you will not return the same. Head north to the great city of Yariv, the capital. In the ruins of its castle, you may find what you seek.
You made it. What do you think of our little refuge in the midst of all this madness? There aren't many left here. Most wandered into Yariv, chasing some hope of breaking the curse or finding a way out. I'll be setting off soon as well. There's someone out there I have to find. There's a man behind these doors who came here purely to study the history of Yariv. I don't know whether to admire his dedication or pity the foolishness that brought him to this cursed land. A few days ago he headed to the temple on the hill. I can't help but wonder if he's still alive. If you happen to be there, please look out for him. Unfortunately, I'm heading in a different direction. I've lingered here longer than I should, but now I must go. There's no more time to waste. Goodbye, friend. May we meet again someday.
New to Yariv. Quite an intriguing place, isn't it? To think all this chaos traces back to the deeds of a single being centuries ago, if you believe the legend of Verho. Never heard of it. That is most intriguing. Perhaps we may come to a mutually beneficial arrangement. Do me a small favor, and in return, I shall share with you the legend. What say you? The favor is simple. Near the poison lake lies a curious mechanism. It is very old, almost ancient, likely crafted before the Era of Solitude. If my theory is correct, the key to the mechanism lies in the old iron seals scattered throughout Yariv. It just so happens I have one of those seals here. However, Crystal Cave and the Rotten Valley have grown far more dangerous recently, so I cannot test my theory myself. I believe these seals act as a key to activate the ancient mechanisms. You seem strong, at least above average. Go test my theory for me, and in return, I shall share the legend with you. Perhaps I'll even part with a few magic runes from my collection. Here's the seal, and now, if you'll excuse me, I must return to my studies. And my name is Esther. If you return having successfully tested my theory, I would be honored to know yours. Have you had a chance to examine the mechanism near the poisoned lake yet? No? Then if you excuse me, I have matters to attend to.
am selling, you buying. Simple. I am selling, you buying. Simple. You talk, I'm not. You buy more. Then we talk.
Greetings, small human. I'm Parentius, smith of this village. If you bring me materials for a small payment, I can reforge your weapons. Welcome, small human. What do you need from Parentius? Welcome, small human. What? Small human. I want to ask you for a favor. I have a dream I seek to fulfill. To forge a rune blade, an ancient weapon of my race. The crowning jewel and pinnacle of every blacksmith's craft. I believe I have the skills to reforge it. However, I'm missing rune steel. If you find me 6 pieces of it, I will let you keep the sword. I just wish to prove my craft, to smith my masterpiece. Rune steel is very rare, but I heard you can still find it in this land. That's why I came here. Welcome, small human. What?
You hardly look battle-ready. There's a small arena here with training dummies. You're welcome to use it. You'll need to grow stronger if you want to survive in this place. There's not much for me to do here, so if you'd like, I can give you some combat advice. Forgive me, I have not yet introduced myself. I am Argon, once a knight of the Blue Flag. Now I'm just another condemned soul like everyone else in this cursed valley. Keep in mind that blocking an attack doesn't stop the force behind it. You'll still feel the blow. Try not to block too many attacks in a row, especially if you're not using a shield. Otherwise, the impact could stun you. Don't forget to work on your resistance. The more you improve it, the less impact you'll feel when blocking hits. Always attack only when you're ready. If you strike even a second too soon, you won't deal half the damage you could when properly prepared. If you start swinging wildly, you'll just waste good attacks, tire yourself out, and end up dead. What you already know is obvious. Now let me tell you something more interesting. When you prepare to attack, aim to strike the exact moment you feel ready. If your timing is good, you'll deal more damage than with a normal attack. It might be tough at first, but if you focus on it during combat, it will become a habit over time. Thank you for listening to my rambling. Take this. I received it from my garrison instructor who claimed the stone holds magical properties. I was never able to harness its power myself. Remember to train regularly and fight smart. If you're lucky, you might just survive this place. Well, the dummies are waiting. Show me what you've learned. Remember to train regularly and fight well.
And to whom do I owe the pleasure? My name is Bellicor. I hail from the Orion Empire, far to the east. I was once a member of the Maker's Order, a devout man of faith. But my journey to Yariv has only confirmed what I long suspected, that I was nothing more than a faceless hound of the Order, cast into this cursed land for asking too many questions. But this was all according to plan. I had to see this place for myself. I seek answers, like so many others who find their way here. I've been trying to enter the temple behind us for some time. I suspect some form of foul demon magic is responsible for the seal that binds it. If the locals are to be believed, it only appeared shortly before either of us arrived. Apparently, an expedition went inside. If you ask me, whatever abomination sealed that door likely killed them all. If they were lucky. I have been working on a spell I believe will break the seal, but it requires a rare ingredient, a plant called obsidian root.
It is said to grow only in this region, but I have yet to find any. If you come across some obsidian root, bring it to me, and I will get us inside. That is, if you intend to delve deeper into Yariv. Obsidian root grows only under extreme heat. Its appearance is dark and twisted, and it is said to give off a faint, pulsing chime. You won't find any in the Broughton Valley. I've already searched the entire area. Well, aside from the Predator's Cave, I'm not eager to become its next meal. In any case, the forest to the east is a better place to search. If you find the root, bring it to me, and I will unseal the temple. Have you found the root? How disappointing. Obsidian root grows only in high temperatures. You certainly won't find it frolicking about in a place like this.
So it worked. After all these years. Remarkable. You've done me a great service. Come find me when you're ready to hear the legend of Verho. I needn't tell you how deeply the curse of faces has scarred the world as we know it. The calamity of 600 years past did not end with the dead. It lives on, woven into the world's suffering. And the worst of it lingers still. The silent fear we each harbor, fear of the face beneath the mask. But to the point, the legend of Verho offers one explanation for the curse's origin, yet no one knows where the tale truly began, and many dismiss it as little more than a fabricated myth. The legend says that 600 years ago, Yariv was a thriving kingdom, at least until King Era II took the throne. When he was still a boy, his family was tragically murdered. The events left him scarred and unable to form close bonds with others. It bred deep distrust within him, even toward his most loyal servants and advisors. Over time, suspicion grew into paranoia, and paranoia into madness. Era II imprisoned, and sometimes executed, often at random, inhabitants of the kingdom. The blacksmith who forged an imperfect sword for a god, death. The alchemist who delivered too few elixirs, death. Sometimes, simply kneeling with one's head held too high was enough, death. stood against the growing madness. He feared that if Heron's cruelty went unchallenged, the kingdom would rise in rebellion, and the king himself would fall. But Heron refused to see it that way. His heart had already turned cold, and his mind was lost to darkness. He accused the Archmage of treason, but couldn't bring himself to kill his best friend. Instead, he chose to punish the alleged traitor in a far crueler way. Before Verho's eyes, his entire family was executed, and he was forced to watch. Afterward, the mage was banished from the kingdom. The lonely Archmage spiraled into madness, consumed by thoughts of revenge. He turned to forbidden practices and summoned a powerful demon from the abyss, Selakaf. In return, the demon was meant to kill Heron, but once summoned, it mocked Verho, and instead unleashed a terrible plague upon the world, feeding on human fear. This plague became known as the Curse of Faces. What became of Verho after that remains a mystery, and history soon forgot his name. After all, the world had changed. There was no longer time for legends. Only surviving was important. And so, only his legend survived from those dark times, or perhaps it was never true at all. Many say the truth lies buried here, in this cursed land. Ah yes, but enough about the old tales. I also promised you magic runes, and I intend to keep my word. If you're interested, feel free to browse my offerings. Welcome, friend. Interested in buying some runes? Welcome, friend. Interested in buying some runes? How about a little deal? Rook, the merchant with the big hat, once sold me an ancient scroll. It contained instructions on how to craft runes, just like the ones I sell. If you ever come across similar scrolls, bring them to me. I'll craft and sell you the runes described within.